A 4-year-old girl has been confirmed dead after being defiled by a 34-year-old man at Eswoko, a village near Asamankase in the eastern region. Mother of the deceased, Esther Adobia, says her daughter was lured by the man only known as Jesse into a neighbor's bathroom and had sex with her until she fell unconscious. Maxwell Agbagba is with our gender and social protection desk. He joins me now in the studio so we can talk about this a bit more. Maxwell, tell us how this all happened according to the mother's narration.
The victim lives with the grandmother. The grandmother had actually gone to the farm, and she, in the company of other friends, were actually playing on the compound when the suspect, we are told, went to the compound where they were playing and then took the girl away to a bathhouse, as you rightly mentioned, just in the neighborhood, some meters away from where they were playing, took her there, and then, had kind of knowledge of her. But from her mother's narration, I mean, she told us, you can still feel the pain and then the anguish with which she was narrating the story. She still told us that...
how did they find her? I mean, how did they find the girl?
Well, when we spoke to the mother of the victim, she said that but for a resident of the community who actually went behind the building where the whole thing was happening, but for him, they wouldn't have been able to know that the suspect was the one who committed the crime, because he says it's not really like a thoroughfare, kind of like hidden in the community.
So how did they, what did the eyewitness see, or what did he say he saw happening?
Well, we are told that the eyewitness caught the suspect red-handed, like in the act.
And at this time, was the girl alive?
The girl was then alive, but just when other people were called in, we are informed that the girl became unconscious. And when she was sent to the Asamankase government hospital, doctors there pronounced her dead, on arrival. So the next thing they had to do was to take her to the mortuary, and then her mother was actually got informed later on. At the point when it happened, the girl actually stays with the grandmother. The grandmother had gone to the farm then, and
left the girl at home alone.
Left the girl at home alone in the company of her friends. When
the man, I mean, and I don't know if the eyewitnesses provide any further information, but when this Jesse guy picks up the girl out from among her friends, what do the friends do?
Just like there's many circumstances of rape and defilement that we know, the suspects or the perpetrators are usually people very close to the victims. And this is the exact situation where this is exact thing that happened. We're told that the suspect is known in the community, actually, known to everyone. So just when he came around and held her by the hand, they thought, oh,
it was normal.
We live in the community.
So then he walks away with her.
He walks away with her. Nobody actually complained because he's a known person to them. I'm sure they would have raised an alarm or some concerns if he was
a stranger.
He was a stranger.
What's the police saying? Did they report this matter to the police? What's the police saying?
Yes, the matter was reported to the police. We are told that the postmortem, they finished with the postmortem actually, and the postmortem results are out, but the police would not speak to it. They really would not give us details about what is contained, in the postmortem.
In the postmortem.
Because it's very critical to the prosecution of the suspect. Because the mother of the victim actually tells us that doctors who tried reviving the girl, told her that the suspect actually covered the victim's mouth together with her nose.
Okay.
Yeah, so just so she wouldn't.
This is scream. The mother's version
this
of
the
story.
This is the mother's, version of the story.
Okay.
And she suspects that apart from the sexual assault that happened, that also possibly led to the death of the girl. But police are tight to it on the postmortem results. They are not given any details. We are told that investigators are still handling the case. The suspect, as it stands now, is on remand, and they are waiting. They are still doing more investigations to unravel the circumstances surrounding this rather bizarre,
we're also told,
case. Yeah.
Maxwell, we're also told that the mother had to pay some money to the police. She's alleging she paid some money to the police.
She's alleging that she paid an amount of 150 Ghana cedis to the police working on the case, and
what for?
Ostensibly to be used as transportation fare to convey the suspects to Nsawan prisons.
Voluntarily or demanded?
Well, she says it was demanded, and she had no choice but to produce the 150 cedis. It was later, this is the narration of the mother. She said it was later that she went to see somebody who works at a court, and the person actually, pretended as if he was the one who gave out the money. So they told the police officers, he confronted the police officers about the issue, and then they returned 50 Ghana cedis. So as it stands now, the 100 Ghana cedis, she says, is still with the police officers. But when we spoke to the police this afternoon, they actually denied that part of the story.
Okay, which police is this? Which area?
Well, this is very close to Asamankase. So
Asamankase.
we know, yeah, they are the ones handling the case.
So do we know the specific department or the specific community in which this police station is located?
Well, that's in the eastern region, Isioko, where the incident happened. But we are unable to tell the police officers
at this point
who have been accused of collecting the money, but they are denying the allegation
that they did not take any money.
They said they did not take any money.
But I mean, this is not the end of it. We'll be following up on this particular story, and you know that here at JoyNews we're passionate about stories like this, stories that put the lives of our children in danger. We'll certainly be following it. But Maxwell, quick one. I mean, you've been reporting, I think this year alone, you reported so many cases. And I'm wondering what this tells you of whether or not we're winning the fight against defilement, against rape, against all kinds of abuses.
Yeah. One of the statistics that we've been talking about in recent times is the statistics from the criminal investigations department that on the average 3 children are raped, are defiled in Ghana. And we are talking about defilement, not even rape. Yeah. So for people who are above 18 years, that's rape. But this is just defilement, and on the average 3 children are defiled. I think it's quite alarming, and there's a lot more that we need, to do as a people. We need to provide the necessary, logistics, especially for victims who report to the police. There are circumstances where, because of financial constraints, some people do not even go back to the police station with the medical reports that were given to them.
Yeah.
They go to the hospital, all right, with the medical reports. They are checked and everything, but because they do not have money to pay for the results of the medical reports, they abandon it, and they don't pursue the case.
Reported cases, because there are still cases that are not reported.
Exactly. And if we need to win the war against defilement, we need to provide police and all the relevant agencies with the appropriate logistics. For instance, I mean, there are circumstances where there's defilement that police officers sometimes, policemen sometimes, or investigators working on the case will not take swabs of of the victim, will not take swabs of the suspect. And we go to court, we present a case of defilement, but we are unable to prove beyond doubt that this really happened, and we are just relying on the evidence of penal penetration. And it doesn't work like that. Yeah.
Well, Maxwell, I'm certain that you get to this family and we'll get some more information on this. We'll be following up with the police as well to bring closure somehow to this disturbing matter. Maxwell Agbagba, he's a member of the Gender and Social Protection Desk here at JoyNews.